Hello, I'm here. How's everyone doing? I want to talk about the Strive 3v3. I know this was a big letdown, or I don't even know if a letdown is the correct thing to call it because no one really expected anything from it from the beginning. But I kind of want to talk about it, how I view it, and maybe just my thoughts on it in general. I will start off by saying this. I think the 3v3 was a bad idea. And before I get into why it's dead and, my thoughts on it and whatnot, I want to just say, I think that they should have, instead of this, there's two things they should have done, or could have done. I think the first thing is you could have used the time that you were making the Strive 3v3 to push out new moves to the characters that need them. So for example, you still have Zato, you still have Nago, Leo, Kai, Sol, right? I think more new moves, maybe more new maps. I don't know, maybe more frequent patches, maybe updates, this, that, right? Anything else. I think they could have spent their time, instead of doing this, they could have put it into like more important things. There's no way that they put this out thinking that people would actually play this, or for the long run at least, right? Because it was pretty popular on the first day. The second thing that they could have done is come up with a better idea. I don't think that team 3v3 is the best way to get someone. I don't think that's the best idea that they could have came up with. I think if they wanted to go for the fun game mode or whatever, they should have done something like a little more, definitely not 3v3. One of the main issues, and I'll get into why 3v3 is terrible, is the connection. The connections between having 6 people in one lobby, having to figure out the ping and whatnot, it just becomes too much of a hassle. I think 1v1 is the best thing they could have done. 1v1 for sure. Maybe some, if you've seen the Strive Ultimate mods, or for example, Happy Chaos, Infinite Bullets, or Faust, random items come out from out of the screen, or characters have boosted moves, or, right, kind of like a fun, some characters, like Nago, for example, in the 3v3, Nago or is it just Pot? But Pot has an air dash, right? Maybe some cool stuff like that, some make-believe Strive Ultimate, fun, go crazy, mash, press button thing, right? I think that could have been somewhat of a cooler thing instead of the 3v3. But yeah, no, the 3v3 was it was not interesting to anybody. It was popular for a week, mainly on the first day, and then after that, it kind of died down. People kind of just played it once and forgot about it. If you look at the leaderboard for the 3v3, there's a lot of characters, I don't think a lot of the characters are actually a lot of people aren't max rank on that. They just gave up and did not want to play. One of the, kind of going back to the connection, the issues with the connection. So yeah, like I said, you had 6 people in one lobby from different areas, either West Coast or East Coast, or, even Europe sometimes, right? People playing with their friends from Europe. Having to get that situated was just too much. It was too much of a problem, to the point where unless it was a tournament setting 3v3 and you were just playing against randoms, right? For playing with randoms, it was, you never got under 100 ping. You never got under 130 ping, dude. I swear, from all the matches I've played, and I've definitely played quite a bit of that mode, never once was the connection under 120, 130. It was always 180, 250, slow motion, 170, 150, right? Never really consistent connection. So that alone is just not fun. The next thing is, it was mash, turn your brain off, which is fine, but it wasn't fun. There was too much screen clutter. If you're having a 3v3, at least let the people feel like they're working together. It didn't feel like people were working together. It felt like slop. It just felt like slop. It didn't do anything. It didn't go anywhere. It just died. You had the classes, right? You could pick the Vanguard, the healer, which again, those didn't really, you could then go ahead and choose the perks that you wanted and stuff. So it didn't really feel like the classes had too much importance, to be honest. The healing was too broken. If you actually played and had the passive bonus, the passive healing bonus thing, right? You pretty much felt invincible to the point where the rounds weren't ending. People, a lot of times, if you played a game versus a sweaty team, you would just go in and no one would die because everyone's just getting healed passively. Then you had the healing items, and then you had some of the perks were cool. The items they had were pretty cool, but with the healing and the screen pollution and whatnot, it just, and the connection, all of it at once just did not feel that fun. I'm sure some people out there didn't like it for different reasons. If you did like it, I'm curious to hear why you like it and still like it to this day. But it just felt like they could have invested their time into something different. Off the bat, top and high level players are not gonna play because of the connection. So I know it was more targeted towards the casual player base, but again, even then, they didn't even like it. Some of the assists were cool, before you were able to call assist on hit. Thankfully, they got rid of it when it released, but you know, some of the assists, it was like you had high-low assist, you had like block stun assist, you know, you had guard crush assist. So it's cool that the assists varied and it gave characters identities as assist or point characters, you know, and then you had like the roles, like you know, if you were the main, you were the character that started off on the screen. So that part was cool. But it just seemed like all these things put together, it seemed like, it was weird because it wasn't meant for the top 9 players. I can assure that. But it didn't feel like it was for the lower players too at the same time. Because it felt like the devs kind of like, but outside of all the slop, it felt like they wanted you to play together with your team and coordinate and, you know, be smart about like the characters and the perks and whatnot you were picking. But to be honest, like all the roles and stuff felt like for nothing. It didn't really matter what class you were. As long as you had like the bonus healing, passive healing going on, it felt like you could do anything you wanted, right? I know Happy Chaos Assist was pretty broken, so there's some funny stuff like that. But overall, as a whole, it just wasn't great, and it was never interesting to most people from even when it was an idea. It first got shown to us at EVO when they introduced Wild Assault, and then they showed like the Johnny trailer, and you know, like I said, all the different types of Wild Assault, etc. So it was, I don't know, it just felt like it was cooking up for too long, and it just shouldn't have been a thing. They maybe just should have put their energy elsewhere. Sadly, no one, yeah, like I said, no one plays it anymore. Yeah, if I had to wrap up everything and say the main issue with it, it would definitely be the connection. The connection was horrible. One of the other things that people may not have known, but there was also a 2v2 mode for this game, for the game mode. You know, if you were able to go into like the room, you could set it to 2v2. I know there were some 2v2 tournaments out there. I do think the 2v2 was actually a little more like put together than 3v3. I think the 3v3 was just a little wild, but the 2v2, for what it looked fine. It looked like there was a lot more thinking to it. It didn't look as much as slam on button go, because you actually had like to control and I guess manage your cooldowns, I guess. But even then, it still wasn't fun. And you couldn't even play it like, it was in private room only. Yeah, it was, again, in a more controlled environment. You weren't fighting like 200 ping players. You were choosing who you had to fight. If you wanted to fight that, then you know, obviously it's your choice, right? I'm interested if, I don't know, I don't ever think about it, but maybe the 2v2 instead of 3v3 just publicly would have been better. I don't know. I don't really know. Again, the direction they went, it just seemed like, I don't know. It's too many mixed signals. Because like I said before, when it originally first came out, the first beta, you could call assist on hit. So clearly it was just press button, go. Just slop everywhere on the screen. And then they just took that down and they made it so you couldn't do it on hit anymore. And I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's just, I can't believe that this thing is actually in the main menu and we just act like it's not even there. I mean, we just skip over it. It's just like, it's like the Strive rank system, in-game rank system. We just act like it's not there. But yeah, I'm very curious to how you guys would change the game mode. Again, like I said, my main gripe is just the connection. The connection is just, dude, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The matchmaking is just so terrible. It does not work. To actually get like consistent pinged matches, it does not work. But yeah, again, there's still some fun things to it. One of the positives for me was, what did I like about the 3v3, dude? I'm trying to think. Nothing. I didn't like it at all. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm sure maybe if I'm probably missing something. I do want to hear everyone's thoughts, so please let me know in the comment section what you guys liked and did not like about the Strive 3v3. And maybe some adjustments that you have to it. You know, maybe they will patch it in the future. They have yet to talk about it in any of the patch notes or, you know, Dev Backyard that they recently released. So if you have something that you want changed, I'm curious to hear about it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time, thank you.